Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. So today I have this cute kawaii kitty cat that I've actually broken down into smaller parts for you to draw along if you want to kind of create this artwork. So it's going to be going in steps. I'm going to put on one step after the other, and then you can draw along with those steps if you want to create the same artwork. And at the end we're going to produce something that looks like this, but it's also is going to have colors in it. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, I'm going to turn all the layers off, and I'm going to activate one layer at a time at which step you should be actually drawing. Now if you're drawing along, you should just go ahead and pause the video and then draw that step, and then when you're done with that step, then you can start playing the video again so you can continue to the next step. So the first step is going to be this is step 1. As you can see, we're drawing the head first. So this is step 1. You can see it here. You're going to just draw kind of a semicircle on top here. You're going to start from this side and go this way, and then you want to draw a line underneath it to go this way, to cut across. It's not a whole circle, it's not a circle, it's kind of a semicircle, and then you cut underneath it like that. So that is step 1. You can pause the video now and finish this step 1 while I go on to step 2. So step 2 is going to be just drawing the legs. So these ones are easy. What you need to take care of is there is a space in between here, so leave that space, but go underneath it and draw the first leg going this way, the second leg still the same motion going this way, and then you could put these 2 blobs for feet. They have to attach to the hands on both sides. So even this one, the same way, you draw it going that way. So that is step 2, and step 2 is just the hands and the feet of the kitty cat. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate step number 3, but if you haven't finished, this is the time you should pause and draw step number 2 completely as I activate step number 3. So step number 3 is easy. All you have to do is draw these joiners here for the kitty cat's body. It should start from where the head is and go all the way to this halfway to the foot. And it's the same thing you're going to do on this other side. It comes from up top and goes all the way to halfway where the foot is, halfway in the foot, halfway in the foot, but it starts from up here on the head. So look at this distance here and then draw that one going down like that. So that is step number 3, and we're joining in now with the kitty cat's body. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and activate step number 4. So if you haven't finished step number 3, you could go ahead and pause the video, because there is a lot to do in step number 3. You join its body, and you also draw the ears, the floppy ears on top of the kitty cat's head. These ones right here, those are all in step number 3. So if you haven't finished step number 3 yet, you should just go ahead and pause the video and finish step number 3 while I activate step number 4. So step number 4 is when we start to draw the eyes now. And the eyes are easy. So you go inside the head. You make sure that you know where the middle section for the kitty cat is. So you draw one eye on the side and then draw the other eye on this other side. At the same time, we're going to draw a little nose in between there with 3 dots on each side. and the mouth facing downwards because it's an adorable kitty cat. And we're gonna color in those googly eyes, so when we finish with everything, it should be looking like a cute, adorable but begging kitty cat. So that one is done. That's step number 4. If you haven't finished, you could go ahead and pause the video and finish step number 4 while I activate step number 5. So step number 5 is where we add a lot of accessories. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off all the other steps and leave it on only step number 5 so you can see what you're adding. Step number 5, you're going to add the tail. You're going to add this ornament, whiskers, and also this hair. So if I activate, if I show all the other steps, you're going to be able to see exactly what you just added. So you can see what you just added. You added the whiskers, you added the hair, and you added the eyebrows. And if you haven't finished this, you can go ahead and pause the video so you can finish that step while I activate the last step. And the last step, you're adding the shadow and putting in the tail. And at this point, you should have something that looks like this. So you have a complete sketch of your kawaii kitty cat. And now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna start inking the whole project. So we are going to have something that looks like this at this point. And now I'm gonna go ahead and actually start throwing in the ink to make it look even more beautiful. I always never skip that step. And usually when I'm creating my coloring books, that is the step I use as a coloring page. And if you haven't gotten this coloring book, which even has this very adorable kitty cat, I'm going to leave the link to it in the description below. But now I'm going to go ahead and bring the technical pen, which is my favorite inking pen. I'm going to make it a little bit big, and let's start the inking. So at this phase, you could go from anywhere, it doesn't matter where you start from, but I'm going to go ahead and activate the symmetry. So I draw only one side of the kitty cat. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the symmetry. Done. And I'll make sure that my sketch is smack bang in the middle, so I'll be able to draw whatever's on one side is replicating itself on the other side. So I'm going to go on the sketch layer. I'm going to go on the sketch layer, and I'm going to grab my kitty cat and move it over a little bit, like right there. I think that's good. So I'm going to go back on my assisted layer where I'm going to be inking, and I'm going to go to town. I'm going to start doing the work now. So I'm going to start with its ear up here, and let's go ahead and ink this in. So at this point, we're drawing only one part of the kitty cat, and it's going to show up on the other side because we have the symmetry tool on. And drawing in Procreate. So Procreate drawing tools have the symmetry tool on. And I want my lines to be big and bold. And I can zoom in to be able to see the lines even better. If you're drawing on paper and you're not drawing on an iPad, this is the time you actually use your pen to ink these. So you're gonna need your pen to throw in a little bit of ink but since I'm drawing on an iPad, I just brought the technical pen brush. No, that's not good at all. I don't like that. Sometimes it's gonna take a few tries in order for you to be able to draw the line that you actually want. And make it sharper on the edge. Draw a little shadow in there. So usually when I'm creating my coloring books, this is the level that I put in the book as a coloring page, and you're gonna see at the end of this what it's gonna look like. It will give you a crystal clear, very brilliant coloring page. There we go. That's starting to look pretty good. So here I'm gonna go ahead and draw this, but now I have a problem because I need to draw her hair in, but I don't want that to be symmetry. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, I'm gonna go ahead and put on a new layer, and on this new layer there's no symmetry activated, so I'm just gonna go ahead and draw her hair here. Like so. And to snap smoothing on in Procreate, all you have to do is when you draw a line, you hold it in for about 2 seconds and it will snap into place. So you can just go like this and hold it for about 2 seconds and it will create a more smoother line. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't need it when I'm looking for organic forms. But that is starting to look even pretty. Oops, that's a straight line. I don't want that. I want kind of a curved line. Like that. And now she has her hair, so if I turn off this blueprint, she's starting to look pretty good. But I'm gonna go back on my assisted layer so I can draw in the eyes because I want those to be symmetrical. And now we're gonna draw the eye. I want to be this to be circularish, pointy over here in the corner. And I want this to be circularish too, with 2 big dots in the middle. So to draw a circle in Procreate, you have to hold it in. It's gonna create an ellipse or something, and then you can go ahead and edit it. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw it, hold it in, create an ellipse, tap here up top and make it a circle. And that's how you draw a perfect circle in Procreate. Or you hold it in, you hold it in, and when it creates any shape, then you tap with 2 fingers on your other hand to create a circle. So I'm holding it in, creates an ellipse. I'm gonna zoom in. I don't know why it's not happening, but hold it in. Yeah, there you go. And I think my pen is too big. I gotta put it down to about 7. To about 7%. circle. Now I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it back onto 13, 14 because I want big bold lines for this kitty cat. I want big bold lines for this kitty cat. There we go. And this is where now your intuition comes in. You can follow along but draw to your satisfaction as much as possible. And you can see what the symmetry tool does. At first you thought you had everything in place, but when you activate the symmetry tool, you can see where it's putting this eye right here. It's a little bit different from what we had in the sketch, but you have to trust the process and know that it actually is going to come out even more perfect than you thought, because it's computer generated. It's a lot of mathematics that you couldn't have put it into position when you're just drawing by freehand. And I'm gonna put 3 dots on one side. And another here, and another here. That looks pretty good now, what we're starting to have here. So I think for our collar, I'm gonna go back up here on the hair line, on the hair layer, and I'm going to draw in her collar. Oops. I'm still on the symmetry line, so I want to go on the hair layer because I don't want this to be symmetrical. I don't want this part to be symmetrical. I just want to draw it the way it is in the sketch. I need an eraser there. Go back to the symmetry layer. I see something I don't need in here. That's what I'm trying to delete. Oops, got so much into my line. There we go, that looks good. So go back on the hair layer. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back up top and I'm gonna create this meadow around her neck, like so, like so. I don't want that one to be perfectly symmetrical. That's why I created it on a different layer where I can actually control it. And I'm gonna go back to this other layer that has the lines. Activate my brush. So I can delete these lines that are cutting across through the heart. And now what's gonna go ahead and happen, I can go ahead and pinch those lines together. Pinch those layers together in order to join them. So all I need to see is these 3 layers. And our kitty cat is coming out pretty cute. So I'm gonna go on the assisted layer and I'm going to add the whiskers. Oops. And I want to start the whiskers from outside coming in. So they are more pointed on the outside than they are on the inside. There we go. And the third one. I don't know why it's a rule of thumb. Whenever I'm drawing adorable animals, I give them only 3 whiskers. I don't want to do more than that. So now, there's a part that I don't think should be symmetrical at all, which is her body. And let me try to do it in a symmetrical fashion and see how that comes out. Yeah, I don't think I like that at all. I want it to be organic. So what's gonna go ahead and happen is I'm gonna draw that on this other layer that is not symmetrical. I want it to be a lot more organic and controlled. So I'm not gonna symmetrize it. Oof, I hate that line. Yeah, I wanted this part to be a lot more organic and not perfectly symmetrical. So that looks actually pretty good. And I'm gonna draw this paw on this other side. I don't like that line. Yeah, I think that's so much better. And guys, I have these images in a coloring book that I created a while back. So if you want to actually get that coloring book, you should go ahead and check out the description below. It's gonna have the coloring book, the link to it. You could buy it on Amazon for less than $10. That way you'll be supporting me and making sure that I bring you even more tutorials. And also it has images like this and way more. It has, I think, 100 images in it. So that way you're just not getting one kitty cat like this, but you're getting like hundreds of them in there. There is owls, there's kitty cats, there's a dog, there's all cute kawaii animals in there. And you can also practice drawing them from the book. So it's not just this image, but there's lots more images in there. And the book is directly on Amazon, so you can get it. Or you could tell a grown-up and they'll get you the book straight from Amazon. The link is going to be in the description below of this tutorial. And thank you for your support. If you cannot support me by buying the book, you could always support me by liking this video and commenting in the comment section below. That helps out a lot. Or also sharing this video with your friends who like art, who like cute animals, who like drawing, and who like coloring. That's how you can support me without buying the book. And we're gonna draw its tail coiling up a little bit like this. It's pretty playful here. I'm gonna bring that in all the way like that. And it has these marks, so this is gonna help us when we start coloring it in. There's a lot that is gonna go into that. And there you have it, guys. Now you have the ink layer of this cute kitty cat. I want to add a shadow to it, but we will add that actually when we are coloring it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the blueprint off, and we have a cute coloring page of our kitty cat, of our kawaii cat. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off assisted drawing because I don't need it anymore, and I'm gonna join these two layers to create one ink layer. I'm going to rename it ink. That's very original. I'm going to rename it ink. And now what we're going to go ahead and do, guys, we're going to go ahead and start coloring it in. So don't go anywhere. Let's start coloring it in, guys. So to create the color, usually what I do is I go up here, and on the ink layer I'm going to make a reference, and I'm going to create another layer on top of it. So reference means that every time you throw in colors, they're going to be actually going within the bounds of that layer. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to use still the color palette we've been using for the last two tutorials, this pink coloring palette, and I'm going to choose this dark purplish color for the eyes, and I'll show you what I mean. So if you see the layer I'm on layer 9, which I'm going to go ahead and rename as color flats. And it's where I'm going to start dropping in the colors. You see, when I drop in the colors, it's not on the ink layer, but it follows the bounds on the ink layer. So I'm going to do that for this other eye too. I think I should give the same color to the nose too, or actually no, I'm going to give a nose a different color. The nose a different color. I'm going to give it this color. So I can try to make it as colorful as I want. At this point, you can do whatever you want, guys. You could color it blue, you could color it pink, you could color it whatever you guys want at this point. I recently did a brown bunny and a pink bunny at the same time, and they were really cute. So I think I should actually do more of that. Yeah, I think I should actually do more of that. Two color schemes at the same time. But what is going to go ahead and happen? Let's go ahead and actually continue coloring this cutie pie in. So I'm going to make this red. Let me work on her eyes first. So I'm gonna pick that color. I'm gonna go in here in the layers, and I'm gonna make this layer alpha mask, which means I can only paint in the color that I dropped on there. I'm gonna create a dark color over here. I'm gonna bring the Tamar brush for painting, and I'm gonna shade on top of these. I'm going to activate the Gaussian blur to make them gradiented. Yeah, that looks pretty cute. Yeah, those eyes look pretty cute already. They look pretty cute already by just adding a little bit of a Gaussian blur over there. So I'm gonna go back to my brush, and now we're done with the eyes. Let's do the nose a little bit too. Make it a little bit brighter here. Do the same thing for the ornament here. For her neck breast. Brighten it up a little bit. Actually, I think we can go in a little bit more on that as well. So my favorite brush that I'm using in here that gives me all these textures is called the Tamara brush. I love the Tamara brush. It does magic for me. It's my favorite Procreate painting brush. So now we're starting to make it look even more interesting. And now what's gonna go ahead and happen, let's paint its fur pink. So we're gonna go in now for the big guns. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create another layer on top of that, and I'm gonna take the alpha mask off of this, but I still have my ink layer as a reference, and I'm gonna go look for the pink color that I want to use for the fur. That's too dark. I'm gonna go a little lighter. I want to go a little lighter, even more light. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose this fiery pink. And yeah, that should do it. So at this point, you could use any colors that you want for the fur of your kitty cat. And what's gonna go ahead and happen is I'm gonna go ahead and alpha lock this layer now. I'm gonna choose an even lighter color, and I'm gonna go in with my Tamara brush. Yeah, there it is. Make it a lot bigger. And look for the highlighted areas that I want to be even more lit, like so. Oops, I went into the eye a little bit over there. So actually that doesn't matter. I can always put the layer. Oof, I'm on the same layer, so I can't change it. I wanted to put this body color in a different layer, but unfortunately that was not the case. But hey, I still am painting in so that way you can make it a lot more dynamic. So now I can bring in the smudge tool and make it blend in even more. Make it blend even more. Oops, I went into the nose a little bit. I didn't want to do that. It makes a dirty color that I don't like. So that is starting to look actually really cute. So now what's gonna go ahead and happen, I'm gonna show you guys how I put shadows and lights, and that's what we're gonna do for this kitty cat now next. So we're gonna choose places that we want to be dark, and we're gonna go dark on them. So but before we go to that, let me actually drop in a real dark color for some parts that I want to be really dark. So take the alpha mask off. I want these parts to be really dark. No, that doesn't look good at all, so I'll look for a different dark color. Let's try this one. Oof, I don't know what to think about that, but I'll leave it in for now. Bring my brush. Do some work on these ones here. No, that's not good at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that for now. And that's the beauty of digital painting, is that when you don't like something, you can take it away right away, or you can change it, or you can undo and redo, which is not the same thing when you're painting on paper. On paper, you can't undo, you can't redo. And that's the bummer of painting on paper versus painting on versus digital work. So I'm gonna make it even more bright, so you can see I wanted to go for a dark color on this part, and then I realized actually going for a lighter color on it will work a lot better than a dark. It's the yin yang, the opposites sometimes look a lot better and more different than you actually expected. There we go. Now it's starting to look good. Now we're gonna go on a different layer, and we're going to create, I'm gonna call this light. So we're gonna create highlights, and we're gonna create also shadows. So this first one is gonna be for shadows. So let's bring the black color in there, increase our brush by a lot. Yeah, that's gonna be shadows. And we're going to go on to let me duplicate this layer, duplicate, and I'm gonna say alpha lock, so I can paint only inside the so I can only paint inside the painting. But I'm going to put my opacity all the way down to 19. 19 is still high, all the way down to 6. Let me put it up a little bit, 9. No, let me put it up a little bit to 14. Yeah, 14 looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for the dark parts that I want this to have some dark areas in it, and that's why I'm going to paint slightly, not too much, just slightly. You can see what's happening now. You can see the brush is big, so you'll be able to see where I actually drop it. And that's where I want my shadows kind of impressions to be. So that's what I'm going for in this section. And the way the Tamara brush works is that you can overpaint. And what I mean by that is that when you go back over it, it will give you an even, a darker kind of film added to it. So I'm gonna go darker in here. And over here as well, on the tail, in the foot, a little bit on the hand, on this other foot, and the hand, of course. I'm gonna make my brush smaller so I can go in here. In the neck area. And I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so I can go in the ears. And there is a part of the hair that we haven't even thought about starting yet. So it's a simple drawing, but you have to give it all your time in order for it to actually look cuter. So we're gonna go on this other side of the ear and do the same exact thing. And now I need a dark color. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the alpha lock on this one, because I need a dark color to go in here. Yeah, like so. Yep, like that. Put it down still. And now you can see our kitty cat is starting to look actually really cute. So on the ornament over here, I'm gonna go for the color that is in the eyes. It's what I'm going to actually use on the ornament here, but I think I need to make it a little darker. Yep, that looks good. And I'm gonna go ahead and paint on top of it with its version of the light to give it a little bit of light. Oops, that's too big. To give it a little bit of a shine, like it's kind of metallic. On this side as well. And now I'm gonna make it even more brighter. Make my brush small and go back into it to add the shine impressions on it. Sometimes I go all the way wild and bring in a white to make it even shinier. I think I need that white on the ornament here as well. And I can smudge it a little bit. My smudge is too big. That is looking good. And we're almost done with this kitty cat. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is for the hair, I'm gonna go ahead and choose the pink color, but I'm gonna make it dark for her hair. Yep, that looks good. So all I need to do is bring in a little bit of lights in there. Oh, that's too big. And I also have to alpha lock this, so I can only paint inside the color that I poured on it. Yeah. like so. Guys, if you haven't subscribed at this point, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and also share this video with your friends who like drawing, who like kitty cats, who like coloring books. Let them know that I have a coloring book that has these images in it, and that they can actually get that coloring book off of Amazon for less than $10. That will be really a big help that you can do for me if you can't buy it yourself. The other thing that you can do to help me out is you can like this video, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can leave me a comment in the comment section below, especially about what you think about this, or how you would like to see us improve the channel. All that is very important, and you can do that right now. And we're almost there, guys. We're almost done. And our cutie pie looks really cute at this point. It's almost done. We're gonna take the alpha lock off of this layer in order for us to be able to go into this other layer right here. And same thing for the mouth. Has a pouty mouth over there. With the begging eyes. That's the expression I talked about when we were starting to draw this. So we're gonna bring our brush and we're gonna make a dark color. We're gonna put kind of shadows on our whiskers. Now these are all extras. You may or may not do this. Your kitty cat is still gonna look good. But I love doing some of these extras. They push the artwork to a whole different level. They push your artwork to a whole different level. And guys, I promised you that I was actually going to give it a shadow. So the shadow is gonna come in a bit, and I'm gonna show you how to put that as well. Still with my favorite Tamara brush is what I'm using to add a little bit of dimension to this kitty cat. A little bit in the tail as well. Smudge it a little bit to make it feel natural. And inside the ear. Now I think I'm gonna bring in even a lighter color to do the same in some parts. And now we can put the shadow now. So for the shadow, I'm just gonna go ahead and choose a dark color. Put its opacity down. And I'm just gonna go ahead and draw a round shadow. I want to show some, I wanted to have some texture like so. Make it even darker, close to the body of the kitty cat. And there you got it, guys. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, share, like, comment, all the good stuff. And also remember, if you want a book that actually has these images in it as coloring pages, you can go ahead and check in the description below. I'm gonna have the link to the book from Amazon that you could go ahead and actually grab for less than $10. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye bye for now.